Thomas Patrick Ward, here we are at your second home, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Fannon's farm, the gym.
The gym.
May not look like much, but many a champion's been made inside that ring.
Plenty of champions have made. Neil's had a lot of champions over the years, and hopefully going to be bring him a world champion soon.
You've obviously, I think you're the only person he's got in camp at the moment, but all your brothers trained with Neil over the years as well.
Yeah, he's had a lot of fighters too. Michael Under, Aggie Ward, Kevin Bennett, my brother Martin. He's had a load of fighters through, and just myself at the minute but things are going well. We're happy that way.
What's the is it a personal preference with you? Because obviously we travel around now, we go to a lot of camps where they might have as many as dozen pros in the ring on a day, different people moving around. There's like that camaraderie, a bit more like a Team GB kind of element to it. Do you prefer this kind of one-on-one, this kind of lone wolf kind of camp?
It's just what me and Neil's been doing, to be honest. Like he's had fighters in where it's like swapping and changing, like a bit like that what you said before. But over the years, when fighters have been going, and now there's only me there. Me and Neil's been together now 10 years or so now, I think. Yeah. So we had that transaction with we're training with other people, but the last 2 years or something it's just been me and him. So, but like I said, it works well and we're happy, so it's good. Yeah.
Tell me about your life and getting into boxing. Obviously, you're part of the traveller community, so we're told the fighting's in your blood anyway.
Yeah. Well, my mum actually took me older brother Martin down to Burtley Boxing Club. I think he was about 10 or something. I'd only be 5, and then anyway, I ended up going down. Ended up doing a bit of training, liked it, and I stuck in ever since. And then I got moved up pretty quickly to the bigger class from the kids' class, and I just took to it, and been a boxer ever since. Anything I've ever wanted to do, and I love it. So.
Did your dad box?
No, never did.
Just all his sons did,
Just his sons. Yeah, my other brother Jimmy did. He only had 3 amateur fights, but again he just said it wasn't for him, so that was it. But me and Martin, we went all the way through the amateurs and GB in England and then pro.
Yeah. I want to ask you obviously about the amateur days, but before I do, tell me what life was like growing up in the northeast as part of that community.
Yeah, listen, it was good. I've got a beautiful family, a lovely family. Mother and father was, I said the best it can be to me. Had a good life growing up, and like I said, it was school and boxing. And then I used to play football for the school, and then it would come to a point where my trainer at the time, Graham, said it's either boxing or football. He said, because you play football and you get injured, you can't box. So I chose boxing, which listen, it's doing good, so I can't complain.
You could have been playing for Newcastle, you never know.
You never know. So for me, that was it. I was just, my dad was a hard worker. And then again, it come to the point where like I was turning 15, 16, and it was like, do you choose to go out with your dad now and work, or do you stick to your boxing? And my dad just always said, look, you should stick to your boxing. Like, he looked after me and just pursued my career because believed that we could do something one day, you know what I mean? And thankfully it's all paying off.
Yeah. We hear about, you read about a lot of traveller families where the boys come out of school quite early. Mm-hmm. But did you go right to, did you go to GCSEs? Did you go that far?
No, I come out of school after, I done 1 year in secondary school. I done primary, then 1 year in secondary school, and then I come out and just pursued the career of a full-time boxer really from there on.
Yeah. Do you think that's why you advanced so quickly? Because your amateur record is, it could well be second to none in terms of UK juniors anyway. Yeah,
we had a very good amateur career, 64, 160, won plenty of national titles, won the junior Europeans, fought plenty of good kids in there. But yeah, I think so. I think because I was so dedicated to boxing, still am now. I just used to watch fighters on YouTube day in, day out, just doing my runs, go to the gym. Everything was just revolved around boxing. If it wasn't boxing, I didn't want to know about it. And I think that's what just progressed me so fast.
So at what point did you decide the Olympics wasn't for you? Because most young kids, certainly when you box amateur, the amateur coach drills it into your head, the pinnacle of the sport, the Olympic Games, the pinnacle of sports, Team GB. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you stick around for the seniors?
I used to watch all the Olympians. The Cubans, especially when I was growing up, they were top dogs at the time. Used to watch them all the time, and that was sort of the thing. I thought, well, yeah, we'll go to the Olympics. But as you started growing up through and going through them, and then I was on the GB trials a few times. I went and won the Europeans, and then got stepped up to another trials and stuff like that. And I was back and forth for about a year down GB. I just won the junior ABAs and then the boys clubs, and then I won the junior ABAs again, and then England actually asked me to move up in weight, and I boxed in the Tri-Nations tournament in Scotland, and then I won them. And then I'll come to the point where I never got booked for GB. Do you go to senior ABAs, try them then, and then do this whole process again, or do you turn pro? And at the time, obviously, my brother Matt was training with Neil anyway, and he was pro, and then started getting the pro bug a little bit, and then I was doing a bit of training with Neil, and I just thought, I'm just going to go pro. Yeah. And I thought, give the amateur job up and just come with Neil.
When you look back at some of the success that we've had in the amateurs, certainly in recent Olympics as well, is there ever a moment where you maybe have watched the Olympics, where you've watched British fighters get on the podium and thought, you know what, he was around the same time as me, maybe if I'd have stuck around, maybe I'd have an Olympic gold medal to show for it?
No, not really. It hasn't really crossed my mind. Do you know, the way I look at it is some fighters, they do go to the Olympics and they get a medal and stuff like that, and it's just absolutely brilliant. It's great and good achievement for them, but then they've got to start the pro journey. Yeah, they probably get fast-tracked a little bit quicker, but for me, I learnt my pro journey from being young, from being 17, training with Neil, and then going through the stages of fighting the journeymen and being 18 and then just growing with the sport. I felt like I've grown to the pro game a lot. Probably more solid than what, say, a 25-year-old from the amateurs would turn over and turn pro now. They probably wouldn't know as much as what I know now, and I'm only 27.
Yeah.
So when you weigh up your options, I think I've done the right decision, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah. You say you're only 27 still, but man, you've got a growing family, you've got this incredible unbeaten record. Yeah. It's like, where'd you find the time in the day to, how have you built up such a impressive record so quickly? Yeah,
well, again, down to Neil, when we started off, we learnt our pro job, like on the job. So we just day by day and fight by fight, and he took me everywhere sparring with different pros and stuff like that there. But my wife as well, though, she's brilliant. From the start, she knew I was going to be a pro boxer, and she supported that, and she basically does everything for me at home, so it makes my life a little bit easier, and I just concentrate on my boxing.
Yeah. Back at home, you've got kids now?
3 kids, 1 boy, 2 girls.
1 boy, 2 girls?
Yeah.
Which one came first?
Martin, my son Martin.
Your little boy?
He was the oldest, yeah.
Now, I had a little boy and then I had a little girl, and I promised I would never have another child again, because little girls are very different than little boys. But from what I gather, speaking to yourself and Neil, it's little Martin that causes the problems, isn't it? Isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very handful. The 2 girls, no problem whatsoever, but he's a bit of a handful. But he's a good lad, though. He likes his boxing. He comes here sometimes with Neil, and he trains at Berkeley now as well. So, I think he'll probably have a few, but he's a character. Yeah. He's a character, yeah.
Does he take after your brother, or does he take after your dad, or which Martin does he take after?
There's a bit of a mixture in there. yeah, definitely. He's a good character, and the youngest one, Tiana, she unexpected, to be honest. I was going to fight in America. The time I fought in America, and it was the week before I left. She actually told me that she was like having the child, so that was a bit of a surprise, but it's good. No, listen, family's good, boxing's good. I'm quite happy with life.
Yeah, you're 3 in. You're expecting a few more? You keeping on
going?
No
time soon, I don't think.
Yeah. Let's talk about your pro career then, and obviously this domestic featherweight division, which is absolutely red hot at the moment. Yeah. But you look around and there's world title fights happening, there's European title fights happening, there's big opportunities, there's fighters being flown in from all over the world for your domestic rivals. And yet, as far as I can see, you're the only one who's still undefeated out of them all.
Well, nobody wants to fight me, does he? I'm just a banana skin to them all. I think when they look at me, they just don't fancy it. I think that's a problem. But we will be in the position that they're going to have to fight us, and I believe so. When they do, I'll take over.
Was that part of the decision to join the Probellum revolution? Because speaking to Probellum, they're signing world-class fighters on a daily basis. They've obviously got huge expectations and aspirations to pretty much take over the sport. And is that why you've come over, because of the doors they can open?
Definitely, I believe they can open some doors that we need. So with them, I think we'll be an unstoppable team, definitely. And like I said, when the opportunity does come, and it will come, I reckon I'll reign for a long time.
You're 31 fights into your career now. Again, the age of 27, absolutely mental. But as a fan, I'm like, okay, next step, please. Next step, please. Let's go. Let's go. You boxed on the Probellum Sunderland show recently. absolute masterclass. Don't drop around. Are you the one that's banging on the door now? Is it yourself and Neil saying, come on, we need to move on now, we need to step up?
We believe we're ready for anybody, and I believe that there for a long time, you know, and I can only beat who they put in front of me. So, you know, for me, like I said all the time, I focus on myself, I focus on improving every time and being a better fighter. Whoever they put in front of me, I'm ready to beat. And these world-class fighters, you know, I'm taking them apart. Like, I'm not even dropping rounds against them. So, you know, I believe so I'm ready for that, for the next step. So it's just when the opportunity comes, then we take it.
Has there been moments where you've been in there, you've been frustrated, you've been slamming doors, you've been, you know, annoyed, you know, because on the outside looking in, you think, how is he so chilled? How is he so relaxed about it, saying, listen, it's going to come, it's going to happen? Is that you putting on a front with me? Is that Neil reassuring you? Or is this just kind of the way you are? He's like a laid-back lad.
No, well, listen, I trust everything Neil says. I have done since being 17. We know that it is coming, but you look at other fighters and think, how is he getting an opportunity? How is it, and why am I not getting mine? But the more you're in boxing, the more you come to learn and grow. I think there's a lot behind boxing that just saying, well, me and you'll fight and let's get it on. It doesn't necessarily work like that. So that's why you need a good team behind you that can make these fights happen. And I believe now we are in a good position to do this. Yeah. So it will, like I said, it will come. But sometimes you think yourself, do you get frustrated? But why? Then why? It's something that it's not in my control. So if I can control it and you're not doing it, then yeah, you get frustrated, but you can. So you just got to leave it roll.
When you look across that domestic featherweight division, especially, you know, there's 3 or 4 names out there that immediately jump off the page. Obviously, it would be great to see you get in with the winner of Lee Wood and Michael Conlon. You've got Jordan Gill going for the European title. You've got, you know, Kid Galahad looking to bounce back. Your old foe Jazza Dickens looking to bounce back. These are, they're all main event fights, you know, so it's not like we have to suddenly start looking internationally. It's on your doorstep. Yeah.
Listen, there's some great fights there, like you said. All them names there, you'd fight any of them, wouldn't you? But for me, I believe I deserve my world title shot, and that's what I want. I'm chasing. I want a world champion, and I'll fight any of the world champions. And like I said, I believe I'll beat them all. And then once I do, I'll start cleaning up.
You're 27 now, you're a young 27, even though you've got a huge record. Is there a magic number, a number of fights? Is there a magic number in terms that, you know, just sit with Neil and go, by the time I hit 35, I want to be out, I want to be this, I want to be that? Or because of the way your career's going, or you just kind of, listen, it'll happen when it happens?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's no intentions of getting out of the game anytime soon. The fights, I have had a lot of fights, but, you know, probably I'm going to have a lot more. I want to have a lot more. I'm as well as one of these fights, I want to stay busy. I don't want to just have 1 or 2 fights a year. You know, if I can fight as many times as I can, I will. But no, there's no get out for me yet. I don't think there will be for a long time. I'm 27, I'm young and fresh. I believe I'm just starting to come into my prime. So, you know, I believe there's some big fights out there for me. And it's a good career still to go. Yeah,
I was down in Cardiff last week and people were talking about Joe Calzaghe and his incredible record, 49 fights or whatever it was, and people were saying that'll never ever be touched again. Mate, the way you're talking, why not?
Why not? Like I said, I'm only 27, you know, I'm only coming in my prime. What if you had 5 fights a year for the next 3 years, there's 15, so yeah, about 4 years, 5 fights a year, you definitely do it. Yeah,
and listen, the way things are looking with the North East as well, like Neil knows better than anybody. How many times have we heard, oh, North East boxing's about to take over, oh, this guy's going to do it. I've been in the sport 20 years and it happens pretty much every other year. But now, I get a sense like, it's a cliche, but North East boxing is finally about to, it feels like Newcastle, the whole North East Teesside, is about to finally have its moment because yourself, Ritson, and then you can sit here all day listening.
The line of fighters that's coming through is unbelievable, and I think at this time, like you said, all them names there, you can just, there's a great base here in the North East and great for North East boxing, and the potential talent that's coming through as well. It's really good, and I think it's going to be one of the big platforms. Yeah, and Savannah, of course, Savannah Marshall's up this way as well. Out of the kids coming through, who'd you like to look of? The young ones? Do you know what it is? I've trained with, obviously, Pat and Luke from Berkeley. I've trained with Mark Dickinson again from Berkeley. I find them, they're very, very talented. Very, very talented lads, very good lads. Mad, but... Yeah, absolutely crazy, you know, but I suppose the bigger the sport. But no, listen, I think that think they're good talents. Mark Dickinson's a good talent too. There's some good fighters out there. Like I said, North East Bases I think is really good at the minute. And I think has the potential to keep on getting better.
Yeah, and for someone like yourself that is a phone call away from a world title shot, that's got to be exciting, because not only have you got the venues up here, but we all know to sell a big arena, you need an undercard, you need ticket sellers on the undercard. And right now it's like, I feel like the Blue Touch paper's about to be lit on the whole of the North East.
Definitely, we've got them. I think listen, you can bring fights here to the North East, and especially if you bring a world title fight here to the North East, it'll be a sellout. Definitely, without a doubt.
And once you get it there, you know, what are we looking now? How old is he? 7. So by the time he makes his pro debut, so we need to be in 15 years' time, have it ready so young Martin can headline. Yeah, exactly, yeah. A stadium fight, what's it, you know, Hartlepool stadium fight for him or whatever it may be.
You never know.
Brilliant. Listen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate coming down to see you. I've said it last year and I said it the year before, but this has got to be your year. You know, we've been waiting long enough. And
I've been saying that for the last 3 years, so I'm give up saying that, but when it happens, it'll happen.
Love it. Cheers.